Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to our Wednesday coaching session. We try to go over some detailed fitness tips and coaching for you on each Wednesday at noon. And today we're going to be talking about a really good one, which is a little more in depth than what a lot of people are used to. But once you have an understanding of what we're going to cover today, it's going to change how you think about fitness and exercise, especially if you are over age 40, or you're a little more deconditioned, or if you're any age, but you are concerned about longevity and the ability to continue to do this kind of stuff. So again, today is going to be a really informative session. What I'd like for you to do, if you come on board, is just say hello and let us know that you were here. And that's always awesome to see where you're from. So right now there's like 214,000 people following this page, and way more than that commenting and liking some of the stuff that we're doing. We appreciate that and hope that this type of information is really good for you. So just say hello, let us know where you're from, ask any questions that you have, and I'll answer those later. And another thing, as always, if you see something that you're interested in, or you like the way we're explaining these things and you want some help with this kind of stuff, just shoot me a direct message on Facebook, or just comment info down below. We'll send you a link to our free Facebook group, and there you can engage with us. So we're not hard to find if you need us. So let's check and see who all we have on already. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get this rolling. So it might sound odd to you guys, but did you know that the idea of fitness doesn't have a clear definition? So lots of people talk about fitness without really understanding what it means. So neither the fitness industry or gyms or personal trainers or even the medical field offers a clear definition of fitness. The same issue comes up with the word health. So we've always tried to define health, but we're surprised when we find out that both of these terms, health and fitness, are often used in a lot of gyms by personal trainers, in medicine, by online influencers, without any agreement on what the two words even mean. So people usually talk about health and fitness like they're connected, like there's a common belief that if your physical fitness improves, your health improves. But there's really no direct scientific proof that link these two things together, and that might surprise you. So the body is always active and changing. It's constantly in the process of breaking down, called catabolic, and then building up, which is called anabolic. So this happens in your blood clotting system. So for example, your body, it keeps making and breaking down blood clots to keep your blood flowing smoothly without causing any blockages in your arteries. So your body also keeps adjusting other things like pH balance, blood gases, hormone levels, electrolytes, and fluids. So these changes happen through these catabolic and anabolic processes. And your health depends on the right balance between these two things, catabolic, anabolic. To understand this, we're going to define catabolic as anything that breaks down the body, and anabolic is anything that helps grow the body. So if you look back to our ancestors, hunter-gatherers, and there were times when there was a food shortage and that was a problem, that caused a catabolic state. And although this sounds bad, studies show that during that time, a lot of DNA repair happens. So this tells us that being in a catabolic state is an essential part of health. It's not something to avoid. And since we know this, we should include both catabolic and anabolic processes in any definition of health. So health could be thought of as being free from disease, dis-ease, and maintaining a balance between breaking down and building up the body. So given that there's a lack of a clear definition from the fitness and medical world, let's define health as a physical state where there is no dis-ease, disease, and the body keeps balance between catabolic, breaking down, and anabolic, building up. Fitness is the condition of being physically able to handle activities that are more demanding than just like sitting or slow walking. So the question to ask then, what is exercise, right? What is it? So to fully understand exercise, fitness, and how they're in health and how they're connected, I think we need to know what exercise really is, not just any activity. So the difference is that exercise or training is a specific activity aimed at making the body adapt in a positive way to improve fitness and health. General physical activity has the potential to cause some changes in health and fitness, but it also has negative effects. So here's our definition of exercise or training. We like that word too. It's an activity that leads to positive changes in the body, enhances fitness and health without causing harm during the improvement process. So lots of people, what they think of as exercising, from walking to running, doing calisthenics, lifting weights, practicing yoga, lots of different things. But many of these activities, they don't meet our definition of exercise because they don't effectively cause the body to adapt in a way that benefits fitness or health significantly. Some activities might even harm the body if you do it continuously. So for this reason, we exclude activities like jogging and running from being true training or exercise. That's disappointing, especially for those who enjoy doing those things. But choosing running, for example, as your main form of exercise is risky. Here's why. So studies have found that 60% of runners get injured in an average year, with one injury happening for every 100 hours of running. The damage from running often shows up after 15 to 20 years, such as when runners who maybe started in their early adulthood reach 40 or 50, and then all of a sudden they struggle with knee pain, climbing stairs, or shoulder pain from bone spurs when they lift their arms. These are gradual issues that arise from doing activities that are too strenuous and too frequent, preventing the body from maintaining balance between breaking down, catabolic, and building up, anabolic. Even mild activities can be problematic. So, for example, if you're playing tennis for many years, that can lead to osteoarthritis from the thousands of repetitive movements of the shoulder and the elbow. Even though the racket, the tennis racket, the weight of it is very, very light. Any highly repetitive activity can cause wear and tear, and that will eventually overwhelm the body's ability to repair itself. So these types of activities, if done too often, tend to cause problems much sooner than later. So when we look at research, we not only find a lack of clear definitions of fitness and health, but also, surprisingly, only a very weak link between exercise and health. Lots of people think athletes are healthy because they're fit. They look fit. But if you look at professional athletes, you'll find that while they have high levels of fitness, the methods they use to achieve this often do not support their health. Most of these athletes don't reach their level of performance in a way that promotes health. And this is because it's not possible to do that. So many people, they don't understand the relationship between anabolic, building up, catabolic, breaking down, those processes we talked about early, or that the pursuit of fitness can actually lead to negative health outcomes. Most people in their head, they still link fitness and health directly, instead of seeing health as a delicate balance of opposing yet related processes. They view it as a broad thing where you can just keep getting better, and they assume that more health is always better, rather than understanding that health as simply the absence of disease, dis-ease, but in reality, fitness and health, they're not directly linked. So as one increases, the other doesn't necessarily follow. But with the right exercise methods, health and fitness can track together to some extent. But random physical activities create a situation where fitness levels might rise, but health actually declines. So if you look back again to our ancestors, they needed to expend more energy to acquire energy. This was their way of obtaining food and shelter. So their survival required a minimal level of activity with bursts of intense exertion. they maintain a balance between catabolic, a byproduct of the exertion needed to survive, and anabolic, which allow them to rest and recover, get the energy needed for their next activity. So fast forward to today. We face the opposite problem. So we have an abundance of food and we have labor-saving technology. This means we don't need to expend much energy to get nourishment. So this leads to the health compromises opposite to those faced by endurance athletes. So today, a significant portion of our population engages in such low physical activity, sedentary, that it doesn't really trigger any catabolic process, no breakdown. There's nothing going on that's driving adaptations for health or fitness. So the assumption that physical activity by itself enhances health is flawed. It's flawed because any health benefits typically arise only because your activity levels are lower than those of your ancestors, so that now even a slight increase seems beneficial. But raising effort from sedentary to something closer to what our ancestors experienced, that's not a smart path to health. So people like to think there's a constant relationship, fitness, health, fitness, health. It's like a person measuring water at the beach. So he measures the low tide, and then as the tide rises, concluding incorrectly from the rapid change that the entire continent will soon be underwater because the tide ebbs and flows. This illustrates there's an error in assuming that activity always correlates with better health. Health improves, but only to a normal baseline, which is why we recommend a baseline. So studies on overly active groups, endurance, cross-training athletes show that pushing physical activity to the limit all the time often compromises your health and may shorten lifespan. The good news is science now better understands how we adapt, how we recover. And this knowledge allows for exercise training that achieves high fitness levels without harming health. And in a lot of ways, it enhances health. So this scientific understanding of this, it focuses on exercise variables of volume, intensity, and frequency. Applied correctly, these can lead to better fitness, maximizing health. And look, as we age, we naturally want to live longer. So in this quest, we often link life with health, health with fitness. It's tempting to look back to when we were younger, maybe 18, when you were at a peak of your fitness and health, and think we did something, whatever we were doing back then, that enhanced our well-being. But you need to recognize that until about age 25, your body's naturally getting stronger every year due to growth processes and hormones. So in the future, as lifespans extend, maybe into the hundreds, the challenge will be, can we maintain function and health? To do this, we've got to learn to exercise in a way that fosters positive changes without the wear and tear associated with modern exercise. The goal shifts from enduring as much as possible, going as hard as you can, to requiring just enough to foster beneficial fitness qualities, improving our chances of better health and longer life. So that's it, guys. That's the discussion for today, is kind of breaking down that understanding. So if we want to sum it up into something very short, and I want you to comment if you have any questions. And if you stayed this long, you're serious about your fitness, because I understand this is a little more in depth, and most people jump off before they ever learn anything because our attention spans are so small, and mine is too. But this stuff is important. To summarize or simplify even more, you want just enough exercise to stimulate these changes without adding to the wear and tear on the joints. Health. Fitness, my ability to do stuff. Health, the absence of disease or dis-ease. Could your fitness program, going as hard as you can all the time, boot camp, cross-train, go as hard as you can, set my personal best, my personal record, could that be destroying your fitness, your health, because of your fitness? So a clear understanding of catabolic and anabolic is what will help you to balance these things out. And I'd love to know if you have any questions. If you join in late, guys, strong recommend that you go back and catch the full version of this video, because you need to understand more is not better. Harder is not better. Trying to exercise. Like, I have a client, a prior client who's now back with me. She reaches out and she says, hey, she stopped doing strength training because she's a cardio girl. And she reached back out and she goes, I have a problem. Okay, what is it? She goes, well, I had my bone scan and I've lost like 3% muscle mass and I work out all the time. And I told her the same thing that I told her months and months ago. Focus on strength training. Stop doing the cardio. You're tearing your body down, losing your muscle. You're not giving yourself a true stimulus. You're just working out or exercising to be exercising. And that's what we refer to as random. So what we did? Start back up, lean her toward a strength-based program, optimize her protein. Everything will be better for it. So this comment, fitness related to obesity, health and fitness does not mean we are all society's image of fit. Okay, so not sure exactly what angle you want you're taking out of the statement. So rate being fit as your ability to do stuff. Okay, that's simple. And rate your weight as, is it healthy? Okay, forget society's view of what anything is, because normal now to society is about 40 pounds overweight is normal. Is that healthy? Does that extra weight limit your ability to do stuff? And are you building a sufficient padding of muscle to protect you in the event of falling or dealing with some sort of encounter, etc.? So yeah, there's a huge percentage of our population that is now obese. And we try to tell people, stop worrying about the scale. Even though you're going to see weight loss if you've got that much fat, you're not going to put on that much muscle as you lose the fat. It can happen, but typically you see some fat loss, some weight loss, and then we want to see muscle gain, so body composition changes. I think the big mistake for most people is getting caught up in normal. Like, if everybody you hang again, don't shoot the messenger. It's just my view as a trainer who's worked with literally thousands of people. It's probably more like tens of thousands now, and help people all over the world get great results. All they had to do was squeeze the trigger, take action. We did the rest, right? So yep. So thank you, Michelle. Says you are right on track. BMI. Yeah. Right. So I think our view of being able, maybe we could say that. So I like the term able to do stuff, but maybe just being able to do stuff, have a padding to help us as we get older. Because look, here's the real thing, guys. We understand the bulk of our audience is, we have some 30 and 35s that are really smart who are following our stuff to learn, to project into the future and be a lot better off because they're going to understand. But we know that most of our audience is 40 and up. Different things are happening in these age groups. 40, you might have gained a little bit of weight and you're kind of like, I got kids, I got to work and it's not really that important. And then all of a sudden you find yourself starting to hide in family photos and your confidence level drips and you don't have any energy. You don't like the way you feel. Those people either take action, we fix it, or they don't. If they don't, we move into 50. Now, as you get closer to 50, you're going to see more aches and pains. You'll see more stiffness. Go to get up and have something that's a little extra tight. You start to feel older, and then your muscle mass is declining at a much faster rate. It started about 1% to 2% a year in your 40s, so now we're getting up there. Here's where we are if you're in your 50s. You're either Going to do nothing, let it continue, or you'll fix it. You'll call us, we'll fix it. Okay, let's say you don't. When you're 60, now that those first couple of times of going to get up out of a chair don't work so well, or you don't like getting on the floor because it's too difficult to get back up, what are you going to do if you fall? So now, here we are at 60s. We're stiff, we've lost muscle mass, we're weaker, and we're heading toward a retirement home because the lack of strength is why you get put in the retirement home. So as long as I have anything to do about it, I'm going to do my best to prevent that for as long as I can. How do I do it? Get stronger. What does that require? Lifting weights, do bands, do body weight in a way where you're getting that catabolic breakdown and you're allowing your body to recover anabolic, and you've got these processes that are making these adjustments and changes, keeping your body getting stronger, maintaining your strength. Never forget this. What will put you in care is your lack of strength to perform basic daily activities. When you can't do it for yourself, somebody has to do it for you. So decide, either I'm going to fix it or you're going to continue on this path of degrading to the point of where when you go to get up, it's this. And guys, we want to help everybody. We really do. It's a lot of work, okay, to try to answer questions. And Linda stays very, very busy. I get people that are as young as 53 to 55. And they're like, well, you know, I'm 53 years old. I can't do much anymore, but I need to try to get started walking or doing something. 58, headed to 60, kickboxing, playing basketball. What's the difference? It's strength training. I was never some super athlete of any kind. I just trained smart, didn't overdo it. We can help. 53 is way too young to be in this position. Now, let's skip forward to the 60s. I get messages from people, can a 60-year-old do this? Now, I don't have any balance anymore. Now, I can't do any push-ups. I can't do a squat. Can you do any exercises sitting in a chair? I'm not picking on these people because we want to help them. What I want you to understand is this. What happened from 40 to 60? How did you get there? Now, forbidding an injury or some type of issue medically that you have, okay? Got it. Can't help it, you know? But all of you guys that are like on the fence or don't want to do nothing or just click out of videos when you hear something you don't want to hear, the bridge is out, man. You are headed straight for that. So do you think that if we went to these people in their 60s who are now struggling, weight loss, muscle gone, no energy, can't play with the grandkids, can't get down up in a chair, do you think that came on suddenly? It came on because they were you and didn't do anything. Then they hit their 50s. They were you in your 50s, and they didn't do anything. Now they're in their 60s, and they can't do anything. So we have to start with very, 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 very light. Some are luckier, like they've stayed a little more active. They're able to get up and down, and then we're like, okay, let's turn it on. We're going to treat you just like we do everybody else. Let's start strength training. 3 months later, I'm stronger. I've got better balance. I have more energy. I feel great. My family recognizes that I'm working out. That's what I want. So think about if those people in their mid-60s that are now unable to perform, if they could go back in time 20 years and talk to the 50-year-old, 40-year-old version of themselves, do you think they could convince you to get going? Like if a trainer can't, your doctor can't, a coach can't, all the information on the internet can't, would you in the future, coming back 15, 20 years, walking like this and going, hey, look, please start working out, strength train. You know that guy, Alan, his wife, Olinda, they're trying to get you up off the, please do it, like get to work because you're killing me in the future. If they did that, heck yeah, we would get busy. So what's it going to take? Now you understand. If you didn't catch the entire video, we basically discussed that fitness and health are not always related, that to establish the right amount of fitness, you need balance because too much is negative to your health. That's sort of the easy summary. So what do we do now? Well, hopefully you take in good information. You maybe listen again to the first part of this video so that you understand it. You are in our program. Keep working. We've got your back. You've always got help. You're on the fence. You're considering, hey, you know, I kind of like the way these people talk. I'm in that age bracket. I love the fact that they've got stuff catered toward my age. I love that they've got all these thousands of people that have already done it. I want to learn more. Guys, just comment plan down below and then check your messenger. You'll get a link to the Facebook group and a link to our YouTube channel. And then I'll message you, or Linda will message you. You got to check your messages and respond back. We get thousands a day. The ones who respond back, we keep. The ones who don't, we delete because there's just too many of them. But you got help. You got help. And this will be the last thing. So there's 3 reasons why excuses they use to justify. One of them is time. All right, so people scroll on average the height of the Empire State Building per day. It's not time. You got 10 minutes, 20 minutes max. You can get the time. It's not time. That's just an excuse. Time. Motivation. If what I just said doesn't motivate you, if that doesn't light your fire, your wood is too wet. You got to understand that taking action is the only way, and taking the right action to get some results. And then if they want to use money, well, no, that's not going to work either, because if somebody genuinely cannot afford training, we'll do it for free. So does that eliminate it for you? If you can't afford a training program, which we have something for every budget, and you really can't afford it, that's not going to be the reason. So let's see if there's enough value in you for yourself to make it worth doing something. So if you want to learn, comment plan down below. And again, check your messenger. Glad you guys could watch. I want to take a glance at some of these comments. Okay, awesome. Just good feedback. Yeah, I love this one too. Love strength training, building muscle, and get strength. Once you get it, guys, once you get it, you can't go back. You can't. Like, you love the idea that you're just able to do stuff. And coming up on 60, I'll be 58 this year. And honestly, the only thing that I have, and I'll tell you guys a surprise that I've mentioned the other week that you may not know about. The only stiffness I have is if I sit in a chair. I'm almost 60. But if I sit in a chair a certain way for a really long time and I go to get up, then I'll be like, oh, what's that? That's tight. And I'll take 2 or 3 steps and I'm fine. Probably a shortened IT band from, just a lot of work and workouts and kickboxing and all the stuff that I've done. And then I'll loosen it up and I'm fine. That's the only thing that bothers me at almost 60 years old. I'm pretty happy with that. Coming up, though, all of you guys who are in our program are going to have access to a doctor of physical therapy. One of my buddies, she's awesome. She actually comes down and stays with us. And she is a doctor of physical therapy. Her husband is the world's best massage therapist. And if you're anywhere near the Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point, even Raleigh area, Charlotte of North Carolina, they are hands down the best. There's not even a comparison. So she's going to be coming on and helping us with rehab, stretching, corrective exercise. She's going to add a new element to the program, and that's going to start very, very, very soon, as early as this week. So Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me. If you're brand new to the page, I do videos like this once a week, every Wednesday. What's the goal? Give you some coaching tips, help you understand clarity on how you can move forward, help you go from problem unaware, knowing that you probably may not have known that your loss of muscle is the problem with your weight gain and several other issues, to problem aware, now you get it, to what a solution would be, strength train. Yeah, and let's do it the right way with the right stimulus. And then you're solution aware. The next step is yours. It's action. What do you do? So comment, plan if you want some help. If not, just glad that you guys were able to be here today. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of the day.